Greetings nerds and happy post-Easter. So in this video, I'm gonna draw myself as the Max and Ruby style. I have never drawn myself as this style before. I am really interested to see how this drawing is gonna turn out. Well, it completely makes sense for me to draw myself as a bunny since we are in the day after Easter. I grew up watching Max and Ruby. I've been watching this show when I was a kid, along with other cartoon shows. So this show is quite nostalgic, and it's time to sort of reminisce by drawing myself as this style. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and start drawing. Max and Ruby TV show is based on the kids' books by Rosemary Wells, who's an author, I believe. Max and Ruby was first born in this world in the year 2002, but as like a TV show for Canada, for Treehouse TV, which is a Canadian television network. But almost a year later, 2003, it came to Nick Jr. as well for the US, and God bless America. Regardless, Max and Ruby is about these two siblings that are bunnies. The majority of Max and Ruby characters are bunnies, but it's about these two characters named Max and Ruby. Max doesn't speak very much. I believe he has like autism. I'm not too sure if that's actually true that he has autism, but I know Max is pretty much of a mute, so he barely talks. I think he would say the same thing over and over again in each episode, but again, he is not a heavy talker whatsoever, just like me. I do talk to myself a lot. I'm not really a heavy talker towards other people, so I kind of relate to Max. Actually, pretty much. And for Ruby, she's quite restrictive. She sometimes doesn't let Max do things. Let's say, for instance, Ruby won't let Max take a cookie from a cookie jar until it's the right time, you know. So Ruby, she's friendly. She does take good care of Max. And she wants to make sure Max doesn't cause any trouble, and she wants Max to behave as a kid. And we know how most kids are. Kids are always... not all kids are naughty and mischievous, but we know how kids act or behave. They like to steal things, but not in a bad way. Well, sometimes in a bad way, and sometimes in a good way. They just love to play, I guess. I just wish I was a kid again. It sucks being an adult. I don't know. But this show does give me so much nostalgia, and I have watched this show a bunch of times. It's one of my favorite Canadian cartoon shows, along with Caillou. I think I prefer Max and Ruby over Caillou. Caillou was kind of weird and a little bit cringy. And speaking of Caillou, I might draw myself as the Caillou style. Unfortunately, this show did come to an end, I believe, either the year 2020 or it was during the pandemic, or 2021. But I know it was during the 2020s. We're still in the 2020s, the early 2020s specifically. I think I would best describe this show, Max and Ruby, simultaneously terrific and boring. I know that's quite weird for me to say it. To me, yeah, in my personal and honest opinion, Max and Ruby, the cartoon show, is simultaneously boring and simultaneously boring and very good. I do love the show for the most part. But I hate a little bit about the show is because the only thing I hate about the show is the way Ruby acts. I know she's mostly nice. I do respect her, but she doesn't let Max do certain things, uh, I guess she's doing the right job. Like, regardless, let's just forget about all of that. I don't need to talk about. It was still a decent show, regardless, no matter what. So, I did look at a couple images earlier today, in order to draw myself. I had to figure out how I was gonna draw myself as the Max and Ruby style, how my size should be, my body shape or body type. I'm not that chunky, so I wasn't gonna draw myself as a chunky bunny or a chunky freaking rabbit. No way, I'm not that chunky. I would say I'm quite skinny and a little bit average. I don't have a muscular body, so yeah. And I did include the whiskers. I had to blend in with the way the characters look in the animated show. So I did a really good job drawing myself as this style. And I took my time. I would say it took a little over 35 minutes for me to work on this drawing of me as the Max and Ruby style. Alright nerds, here's the finished drawing of me as the Max and Ruby style. Here we got my ears, making sure you nerds can really see this drawing nice and well. I'm trying to use the ceiling light. You nerds should be able to see the drawing now, because I'm kind of like making it lean back a little bit. White shirt, blue shorts, same old crap every time, I know. Yeah, nerds, it's no surprise, any of the obvious stuff that I would include, whatever style I stick with, in order to make a drawing of myself. Get the whiskers, here I am dropping a pencil. I don't even know what I'm holding behind my back. I guess I'm holding paper behind my back. That could be a theory. This is a reference from Max Bunny character. If I was a Max and Ruby character, I think I would be good friends with maybe Max or, I don't know, Morris. And this drawing took like over 30 minutes for me to do. It was a little bit challenging than the few previous drawings of me as a certain style. Because I think it's because of the thick outlines. Yeah, the outlines were pretty thick and rough looking, if that really makes sense, nerd. I did apply some shading. I don't know if you can really see the shading, nerds. Or where my legs are, my arms, and below my face. I thought I did a really good job drawing myself as the Max and Ruby style. And here's the drawing of me as the Max and Ruby style, nerds. So that is going to be the end of this video. Stay tuned for more content, and I hope this video was quite enjoyable to watch. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your time. Feel free to subscribe to this channel. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I love to connect with you nerds. And also, feel free to follow my Facebook page. So, I will catch each and every one of you nerds later.